everyone to yet another episode of Live from Thrive on how to thrive in times of uncertainty and insecurity. My name is Ketki Sood and I will be your host for this series. Yesterday was one of those days when I was feeling so overwhelmed. So many meetings, so many things to do, getting groceries as well, those last minute things that you need because you need to cook. And then, of course, coming back and cooking and then getting back onto calls and meetings. And by the end of it, I was overwhelmed. I wasn't prepared for this. And I'm glad for this reason that I managed to speak and meet with Mirjana Power, who will be our speaker for today. And she's going to walk us through how do we find and create and retreat to our own sanctuary and find the space to rejuvenate and re-energize ourselves. She's also going to walk us through a very exciting exercise. So I hope everyone has their pen and papers ready. So welcome, Mirjana. Please help introduce yourself to the audience and share what you do as well.
Yes, so my name is Mirjana Power, and I am a coach and a mentor. I also coach through expressive art therapy. I do family systems healing. I work with energy healing, mindfulness practices, mindful parenting, so many different things. I'm a very creative person and I always need to do different things because I've always got so many ideas. And and today I would really like to talk a little bit about creating and retreating to our sanctuary. And I decided it's not so much about now that we go off and do just a physical sanctuary, because I think you all can create that by having a hot bath or having your yoga class. But we'll be also doing an exercise where we'll be creating a sort of sanctuary in our heart, inside ourselves. And that connects us with the right side of our brain, which is actually the creative side of our brain. And a lot of people don't know that the energetic field, the magnetic field of the heart is 5,000 times bigger than that of the brain. So it plays a very important role, and that's why it's also so important to connect very often to our heart. And so I was thinking, like today, we do an exercise, very simple one, where we actually move into that heart space and create a sanctuary in there. And coming out of that, we write a little bit and do a bit of automatic creative writing. And how the automatic writing often works is like you just start writing and write whatever it comes. And if you feel at any moment in time that you get stuck, you just repeat a word or the sentence or even start from the beginning again. This is just about starting to be in the flow. And what's really important to realize is, as Ketka just explained, is if we are in a stress situation, then we're releasing stress hormones. And what actually happens is we're weakening our immune system. So if we want to strengthen our immune system, it's very important that we experience elevated emotions like joy and happiness, gratitude, but also relaxed states. And so find time throughout the day to create those moments when you can retreat into your own sanctuary. And of course, as I said, you can create a physical one, but you can also do this because it brings you into a deeper state. And creativity happens when we are in the brainwave state, the theta state. That's when we really access much more creativity. So we can't be creative if we are stressed and running around. Then we won't be getting all these ideas that we actually need, especially in these times. Okay, so what I'd like everyone to do is just close your eyes and relax. We'll do a bit of taking a few deep breaths before we start our moving into our heart. And what I'd like you to do is really take a few abdominal breaths, which means you're breathing in through your nose and down into your belly. And as you're breathing out, you're just letting go of all the tension. And really make an effort with the breathing in. And if you feel like making any noise when you're breathing out, like letting go, you can do that as well. And even if you feel right now there's something that you want to shake a little bit in your body, breathe in, shake a little bit, breathe it out, whatever it needs in this moment. Just to start focusing on your breath. And that's throughout the day also, when it gets stressful, It can be your anchor. So when you feel you're getting anxious or stressed, take a few breaths and bring yourself back like an anchor. Remind yourself that's your anchor. Now I would like you to imagine that there is a lift in the center of your head. And just imagine it, see it. And you are entering that lift right now. And as you're stepping into that lift, there's a button on it. And it says heart. You press that button, the lift doors close, and suddenly the lift just takes you really naturally all the way down into your heart. Just imagine, if you are struggling at any moment in time to see that, imagine how there is a lift just taking you into your heart. And as you arrive at the heart, the doors open and you step outside into a safe space, a place that you can create as your sanctuary, where you feel creative, where you feel safe. And just observe for a moment. What are you seeing in that space? You can even create something there. Is that space outdoors? Is it in the mountains, by the beach? Is it a familiar place where you've been already, or a place that you like to retreat to and say, this is where I like to have my quiet time? And your imagination has no limits. So whatever you want to create in that heart space at the moment, to be your safe space and your sanctuary, you can do. And if there's something that comes naturally, just allow that to come. So you don't have to create. You can just be present for what is present at the moment. And if there are any questions you have in this moment that you would like to solve for yourself, just put that question out there right now. And maybe an answer comes and maybe it doesn't. But it's just about realizing that this becomes a very intuitive space as well. It is a sanctuary that you can retreat to anytime you need to. Now I would like you to take another deep breath and just take your pen and paper. And I would like you to write the first sentence. And it starts with, as I stepped into my heart sanctuary. Just write down the first sentence, as I stepped into my heart sanctuary, and then continue. So whatever else wants to be written now, whatever else comes up now for you, just write. And you don't have to think, as I said, even if you feel that you're stuck or so, repeat the word sanctuary a couple of times. If you want to close the eyes for a moment again and remember what it was like in that sanctuary, but just write. This is not a brain exercise, this is just allow the words to flow.
In the light of love, we are home. In the light We are in the light. We hear and see. Thy will be done in the light of in the light of love. We are in the light. We are home in the light. We hear and see. Thy will be in the light of in the light of love. We are in the light. We are home in the light. We will see thy will be done in the light of
Okay, and if you are maybe done with writing now, and you come back, if you want to close your eyes just for a moment and take another few breaths, and then just come back to us.
Wow.
And what I'd like to share as well is it's really good to listen to calming music, because our heart relaxes at 60 beats per minute. And so Barry Goldstein, for example, he's actually created music really focusing on the heartbeat and so that the heart relaxes. So this is also something that can support you in your sanctuary.
Wow. That was really powerful for me. So really thank you, and deeply appreciated, Mirjana.
Oh, welcome. Thank you.
Retreat to my own sanctuary. So I'd love for the audience to share some of their feedback. Even if you've written something, maybe you want to share a picture of that on the LinkedIn group. As you know, the LinkedIn group link is shared in the conversation on the right-hand side of your screen. So feel free to share some of your questions if you have any for Mirjana as well. I'm sure she will be happy to answer those. Mirjana?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So do share some of those with us. We're also happy to have some of your feedback. So I will be posting a link for sharing your feedback right now.
My
You
timer.
could maybe share what other topics that are of interest to you that you can join. And as for tomorrow's session, Mirjana, we already have some feedback coming in from Lekha, who's already clapping for the session that you've conducted. So thank you again, Lekha
Thank
and
you.
Mirjana. I was saying for tomorrow's session, we have a very interesting format, which is coffee and conversations. We will have a 45-minute session where Shivangi Valke will be breaking all of us out into separate rooms and discussing some relevant topics and finally hearing from you, your questions. So it'll be a guided discussion, but another fun activity. So I'm hoping and looking forward to joining you tomorrow. Same time, same link, but 45 minutes. Thank you everyone for joining, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.